Hari Om. Let's start with the prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. So we are looking at the fundamentals of Advaita Vedanta, and this is the talk 7, and here we are looking at what exactly or what is the cause for one becoming many. So in this there are different theories are available, and in the Gita says essentially Mayadhyakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sacharacharam. So under my Adhyaksha, under my presidentship, this Maya is projecting varieties of Sacharacharam, movables and immovables. So there Krishna says, I am the president, and under my direction this whole universe is being formed. So I am the brains behind it. At the same time, what's causing into is Prakriti. Prakriti is same as Maya. So Maya itself as though becoming many. That is essentially what this statement of Lord Krishna is. So why and how did he become many is a question, and that was why he became many. That's what this statement is. So we said Maya is the force. Now he is the Mayavi. He is the one who has the force. So what exactly is Maya? He says it's many people or lot of the acharyas argue it's just Parameshwara Shakti, because he is endowed with the potential to create, and he is Sarva Shaktiman, and but means he is capable of doing anything, and the whole creation itself is, you have a knowledge of creation. So he is Sarvajnaha, that means he has an all-knowing principle, and all the Shakti, all powers he has, and all the forces in the creation are due to Maya only, and that becomes a universal force for all other forces. And that's how the scripture itself defined, and therefore the whole the philosophical traditions is essentially Maya is the root cause. So all acharyas agree that Maya is the cause for creation. Now let's follow a little bit closely. Says what is Maya? We will come back. But essentially Lord himself became many. So there is nothing other than the Lord, other than the Ishvara, and that is only Prakriti. Now where do I come into picture, and where is the ignorance comes into picture, and who has the ignorance? When I say that I am not the Lord, no one says I am the Lord, they will consider it as a blasphemy, and other people will kill you if you say I am the Lord. So people think I am only a local guy, individual, limited, suffering due to the limitations. I am limited by the three fundamental limitations that we discussed. This is a desha, kala, vastu, parichinnam. Parichinnam means divisions or limitations, and limited by desha, space-wise limited. That means I am only occupying a tiny space, and so small, the more I explore in terms of the vastness of the universe, I'm becoming a smaller and smaller in the process. And the time-wise also, I am so small, time is small, the space occupied is small, and object-wise also, the whole universe is different from me. So I am limited by the whole universe itself, and therefore, desha, kala, vastu, parichinnatvam. So therefore, I want to be free from all these limitations, therefore limitless, that is desha, kala, vastu, aparichinnatvam. By putting means none of the limitations, by spatially should not be limited, time wise I should not be limited, or object wise I should not be limited. Then only I am free from all limitations, then only I am happy. The Ishvara himself is limitless because he is operating, or everything is coming from him. There is nothing other than him. The creation itself is also infinite, and we said he cannot be inside the creation and he cannot be outside the creation. He himself is the creation, and creation is infinite, therefore he is infinite also. Is not different from Brahman. If they are different from Brahman, Brahman cannot be Brahman. Why? Brahman means infiniteness. So, creation is infinite, Ishvara propagates, the whole thing is infinite, and it cannot be different from Brahman. Therefore, it's only a superimposition on top, as though is Adhishtanam is the Brahman, and everything is appearance on top of it, because it's only an apparent creation, not a real creation. All that are self-consistent analysis. Advaita Vedanta doesn't deviate from the scriptural statement. So when he became many, there is only Ishvara in different names and forms. Then where do I come into picture, and where is the ignorance comes into picture? Because I don't know that I am Ishvara, and if I am part of the Ishvara or totality of the Ishvara, then I am only one part, and the other fellow is different from me, who is also a part of Ishvara. So all these questions and people have analyzed differently because of this problem. Even though one became a many according to the scriptures, there is an intrinsic differences between me and you, and all that seems to be within this transactional world. And where did these differences come into picture? And I do not know where my ignorance come into picture. If I am part of the Lord, then even if I consider myself as a part, then I should have the same knowledge as he has, but I don't have the knowledge because I think the whole world is different from me. That's not the Ishvara. Ishvara thinks I himself became many. So there is an avidya from my point that I do not know. That's why I want to be happy, right? I do not know, I am already full, and therefore I am looking for fullness, and that's what the whole struggle is. So we have two entities here. Brahman, as though became Ishvara using Maya Shakti, he himself became many. It is like Adhyaksha means Maya Adhyakshena Prakritihi. That means President doesn't do anything. He only under his guidance or under his control, everything is being done. That's what Adhyaksha is. He doesn't have to do it, although he is accountable for all that. So essentially, himself doesn't do anything. That's why Krishna says, Mayadhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam. Under my guidance or under my direction, the prakriti. But prakriti is not different from him because it is Parameshwara Shakti only. All that is important, that we should remember that. So when coming from me, I seem to be ignorant of the whole thing. Therefore, ignorance came suddenly somewhere. And how did I get ignorance of myself and the world and all that also is important. And how do we match all this? Because it's the Prakriti itself became many and the cause for the creation. And what is the relation between my ignorance, that the ignorance, that Mula Avidya that we talked about, the fundamental ignorance because I don't know myself, and what is this Maya? And we said Maya is Parameshwara Shakti. So we know that the locus of Maya is Parameshwara. What about the locus of Avidya? What causes Avidya in me in terms of? Avidya is beginningless also. Because ignorance, we said it's beginningless. Beginningless from where? That means I should have been beginningless. So he himself became many. So this is all becomes a little bit confusing unless we have systematized. He became many is only is a statement for our understanding, because there is no beginning for the universe also. It is beginningless. Janma jasi. Janma means the birth, creation, sustenance, annihilation. It's a cycle, and the cycle cannot have beginning. Now let's go into more details. How did this become many? What's the motivating force? Even though Maya is the force, in what way it manifested into many forms and those one. It is not the will and fancies of the universe, of the Lord. So the scriptures, the philosophers say it is Leela Vibhuti. Leela Vibhuti means it is the play of the Lord. So Lord wanted to create and he created it. Why? Because you cannot say, why did Lord create? You cannot ask the Lord, why did He create? Because He has the power to create. Who are we to ask Him? Because He is powerful enough to create anything He wants. So, unless you become a Lord, you won't know that why He created. Which means, Leela means a sport. So we used to have a cat. We call it a lollipop. And whenever we give some ball, she used to play around. So I would ask one day, why are you playing? All he said is meow. So I understood it means it's Maya. So even cat wants to play. So the play seems to be very natural. If I have a capacity to play, I cannot but play. So therefore, it is a Leela Vibhuti, means Lord is creating the whole universe in terms of, because He has the capacity to play this game, therefore He is creating. So far so good. But the only question is, why is He playing at my expense? I am suffering here and He wants to play. It's like that cat wants to play and the mouse is the one that is getting suffering there. So it catches and then leaves it, catches and then leaves it. So it may be play for the cat, but it is a suffering for the mouse. So I became a mouse here, where Lord is having His play for His satisfaction, but I am having a suffering at this. Why doesn't He hear my problems? And if He is such a Lord and so powerful, why doesn't He give me moksha directly? Why I had to struggle all the way, life after life after life? Why can't He be a compassionate Lord? He says He is a compassionate, and that's what His qualifications. He is Ananta Kalyana Gunam, so infinitely compassionate. Then why doesn't He make me realize immediately without all these problems? These questions one cannot ask these questions. But therefore, what is the cause for creation? In the 8th chapter of Gita, Krishna answers that question. Aksharam Brahma Paramam. So Arjuna asks, what is Brahman, what is Adhyatma, and what is the creation or cause for the creation also. So Krishna answers in a very condensed way. Says, Aksharam Brahma Paramam Swabhavodhyatma Uchyate. So Bhuta Bhavodbhava Karo Visarga Karma Sanjitaha. So what is the cause for creation? First is Aksharam Brahma. Brahma is Aksharam. That means it is non-changing, indestructible. Ksharam is that which gets destroyed. Aksharam means indestructible. That means Nityam. That means it does not undergo any change. That is what is Brahman. And we said Brahman is infinite, it cannot undergo any change, therefore everything is self-consistent in terms of definition of Brahman also. So Aksharam Brahma Paramam. Paramam means supreme, that Brahman is Aksharam. And this comes in fact from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It says that is called Akshara, is essentially in response to the Gargi's question, Yajnavalkya addresses that, which is in the Munikanda that we did address. And those who want to know about the Brahma Sutra, about the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Munikanda, we have taken during the last camp, and they are available on the YouTube also. So Aksharam Brahma Paramam Swabhava Adhyatma Muchyate. Though Swabhavam is essentially Adhyatmam. Swabhavam means nature. Nature is the self itself, is its nature. So it means the self that I am, and Brahman is the total, itself is the self, is the nature. So Brahman expressing as though the self means I am. That means pure existent consciousness is the nature of Brahman. That is Paramam, and that is Aksharam. So whole thing is really fits in. Then in the next line, it talks about the creation. And that's what we are interested here. So, Bhuta Bhavodbhava Karo Visarga Karma Sangitaha. So, what is known as karma is the cause for the creation of these varieties of chara, achara, movable, immovable, everything in the whole creation. What is the cause for the creation? That's what we are asking. Why did he become many in this way? And the statement is, karma is the problem. I thought avidya is a problem. So here it says it is born out of karma, and karma is that which caused these varieties of this one. Whose karma? That's what we need to know. So essentially, the coming down from the point of what is the cause for becoming, says that is my karma. Why am I suffering? That's your karma. People will say, what exactly karma? Karma is essentially nothing but vasanas. So why am I suffering? Because I have done something in the past. I cannot suffer unnecessarily, so I cannot blame the Lord why I am in this particular position or in the particular family, in the male form or a female form, or in particular with the spoon, gold spoon or silver spoon or no spoon. All that is nothing to do with the Lord, because He does whatever that karma is. So therefore He is called karma phaladata. He only gives the results of the actions. That's what is karma phaladata. So Ishvara role is under my direction. Maya makes it and gives the results of the actions that are done, performed in the past. That's what the implication is. And karma here is whenever I perform an action deliberately with a will to perform, then not only I have a tangible result, I am leaving with an impression either to avoid or to do it again, depending upon whether I like it or dislike it. All that you remember we discussed in the beginning itself. So therefore, karma leaves the vasanas, impressions to repeat or not to repeat, and that's called the likes and dislikes. That's called ragadveshas, and that is what is also called karma. So here, why am I born? Because of my vasanas that are accumulated in my previous life, that because of which I have done something and I had to bear the consequence of those actions, and the Lord is only blessing the results of the actions, whether they're good or bad. If I am having all beautiful things, that is of my punyam merits, and if I am having suffering, that's because of my bad actions. So I am only bearing the consequence of my own good actions or bad actions. So if I want to get all the good things next life, if not this life, because this life has become previously because of that, at least even in this life for the rest of my life, what should I do then? I have to do good actions only, then I get good results. If I do bad actions, then I am accountable for bad actions. I may escape the local law, but cannot escape the universal law that for every action there is an appropriate result, whether I suffer in this life or in the next life. All that is implied by the Krishna statement. It is the karma that contributes to the creation. So karma is because of deliberate action by a willful action gives a karma. A cow doesn't do any willful action. It eats because of it is tuned to eat a vegetarian food. So it doesn't get any punyam by eating only vegetarian food, nor the tiger gets a papam because that is programmed to eat what is available from its point, and there is no papam, or for cow doesn't have punyam, but human being has a choice in the action. So therefore don't say I have given a certain teeth, therefore I can eat meat. No. Say whenever I eat something destructing the life which I cannot even create, then I had to be accountable for it. Somebody else destroy my life, then I complain about it, or when I tries to destroy, I complain about it, but I am also destroying other life forms. So people will ask, how come you are destroying the vegetarian? That's also life also. Yes, life lives on life, but I had to destroy the minimum in the universe to survive for the body, because body has to survive. Why? Because it is needed, an instrument is needed for me to go beyond this BMI. So for self-realization, I had to use the body, I had to use my mind, I had to use the intellect and go beyond the body, mind, intellect to recognize I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. So until then, I had to keep the body going. Afterwards, Lord will take care of the body. Yogatshemam Bahamyam. And once you surrender to Him, that means once you recognize He is a jnani, He becomes the greatest bhakta, and I'll take care of his yoga and shema. What he needs and what he doesn't need, I'll take care of it. That's what Yogatshema. Yoga is giving what you need. Shemam is protecting what you have, so removing what all things that you don't need is all that He takes care of it. And therefore, until then I need to, so whatever I do, I perform an action, and that action will give me the result, and this is the beginningless. Therefore, there is a willful action by an individual that contributes to vasana. So whatever I suffer or whatever the world that I am in is due to my past. That means due to karma. Whatever you are is due to your past. Whatever my and my family and my relation, all that is called samashti vasanas, provide the samashti environment. I am born in a particular family to a particular parents, and they have to bear as a child because of their vasanas. And siblings, I have no choice myself, but they have their own karma, and they together have a samashti karma that is essentially contributing to the factor. That's why I am particular environment in a particular country or in a particular place. All that is really programmed already because of my past. But every time it's programmed, I am now encountering as a human being a choice to go against even my own vasanas, and I can change my future destiny by present actions. So future destiny is nothing but past destiny modified by my present action. There is a free will now and there is a destiny. Both are playing for a human being because I have will to act also. All that means karma is the cause for creation, means karma is cause for my creation, karma is cause for your creation, your karma is cause for your creation, and there is in between there is a samashti karma, that which is essentially a combination of which where I need you and you need me in order to exhaust these vasanas. And therefore there is a samashti vasanas also is responsible for the total that is accumulated for the total environment that's coming in. So we have this kind of world or this kind of country or this kind of city or this kind of nature, and all that because of the totality contributing towards that. And that's all to be understood when Krishna says essentially Bhuta Bhavod Bhavakaro Visarga Karma Sangitaha. Now we go into the details. Why am I acting and what was the cause for it? Why are you acting and what is the cause for it? Why anybody is acting and what's the cause for it? How karma starts accumulating and what is the root cause for it? That's how we have to look up and go back again to the basics in terms of what is Maya and what is Avidya and what are these two roles also. That we'll discuss in the next talk. We'll stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.